Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our January 11th, 2024 office hours for Calendar Anything. I am joined by Lena Sin, our Director of Product Management, and I am Janelle Bromberg, Senior Director of AppExchange Sales and Alliances. And we are going to be going over all things Calendar Anything LWC transition today. So we have quite a few folks that are current clients of ours that are still on our old classic version. And so we wanted to talk about all of the great things that you are missing out on if you are still on that classic package. So we're going to have, like I said, our Senior Director of Product, Lena. She's going to be going through a little bit of a demo of all the new features and functionality. But before I kind of hop right into that, I definitely wanted to throw up a poll. If you guys are currently using Classic, I would love for you to answer the poll on if you plan to upgrade to LWC this year, this calendar year, 2024. Give everyone a second to go ahead and answer that poll. And of course, if you're already on the LWC version, go ahead and say yes, because you're already there. So you're ahead of the game. Awesome. Wonderful. Perfect. See, we're getting a few responses in. We'll leave it up just another second. I think we have everybody but one person's responded. We're just looking for that last person to respond and we can move on. We'll give it perfect. Awesome. Appreciate everyone answering our poll. We would love to know your plans. If you do plan to upgrade to LWC this year and you're just not quite sure how to get started, today is a perfect call for you to be on. And of course, like I said, this is an open forum. You're more than welcome to answer any questions. And with that in mind, I do want to let everyone know this call is being recorded, and we will send out this recording tomorrow to everyone that registered. And of course, you'll have it in your back pocket as well. But don't hesitate to ever reach out to us. You can visit our website at CalendarAnything.com and you can submit a case there, or you can reach out to us just by emailing us at appex@silverlinecrm.com. So without further ado, we're going to hop right into it. And so let me get some notes up. So first and foremost, why is transitioning to LWC so important? Number one reason that you want to start thinking about transitioning to LWC, if you haven't already, is that we are planning on sunsetting our classic version at the end of 2025. So we want to make sure that everyone has enough time to go ahead and get transitioned over to LWC, as it is a separate managed package. So Calendar Anything Classic was built on old Salesforce technology. Calendar Anything LWC is built on the latest and greatest Salesforce Lightning Web Component technology. And it's an updated UI. We have full availability scheduling capabilities. We're going to go over quite a few different things today on the benefits of upgrading to LWC. So without further ado, I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to bring Lena in. And Lena is going to walk us through a few different things today. And hopefully in the interest of time, we can get through everything, but we are going to be demoing quite a bit today. So the first thing we want to talk about is the fact that Calendar Anything is a full scheduling solution. We call it availability scheduling. And that allows anybody to be able to self-schedule on availability that is set within Salesforce. And so, Lena, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you to show availability scheduling.
Yes, thank you, Janelle. I'm assuming everyone can see my screen. Janelle, please nod if you can, so I know that it's visible. Great. So we're going to start with our recently released feature, which is called availability scheduling. So what availability scheduling is, it allows resources set their own availability. And then we can present those availability calendars either through a digital experience cloud or on your public-facing website. And then your audience can easily book time with your resources at their preferred location and time. This also allows you to do lead generation. So I'm gonna show in a bit how that works, but you can gather some essential information about people who are booking time with your resources so that you can follow up later. It seamlessly integrates with all of the existing CalendarAnything features. You can overlay your availability calendars with our standard calendars, and we have a plethora of use cases going across all industries. So for the presentation today, we're going to do a dentist use case. So in our Salesforce org, we created the dentist visit availability calendar, and this is open to our resources to set their availability. And the way that they do it is they go to set availability template. And here we can see we're going to use our Anders dentist as a resource, and we can see that this particular person works at 2 clinics. And then here, we can easily see that for the Jersey City clinic, the hours are as follows. And then if we switch to a Brooklyn clinic, we can see that this provider has different set of hours. We can also see that he's currently busy at some other location. So it gives you a great visibility into how your resources are allocated. We also allow you to add exception period. So for example, if this person goes on vacation, we can easily define what that period is, and then customize their availability for that time. So once this availability is set, we have added this calendar to our digital experience site for book a visit. So when a user, a community user gets to the book a visit page, we are collecting some information here. So this is completely customizable, as this is inside your Salesforce org and the digital experience site. So you can collect any information that's important to you. So once this is filled out, if the lead already exists, we're going to use that. If not, we're going to create a new one, and then we're going to present a calendar that looks like this. So now a patient can essentially go in and see, okay, I'm looking at the week of January 14th. I'm booking with my dentist here, and I have different visit types. So depending on what type it is, we can, extend the time slot options. We can pick a slot. We can see that it's for a dentist at the Brooklyn clinic, and then we can create an appointment. And what it will do, it will create a record in Salesforce. So at a high level, that's what the availability scheduling is. You can also put this calendar on the force.com site. So those are just some high-level use cases. We have a full availability scheduling demo on our website, so definitely check it out or reach out to our team for more information or maybe for a more customized demo.
Yep, absolutely. And something else just to point out, I know we're showing this in a week view, but of course, this is CalendarAnything embedded inside of a force.com site. In the age of everybody's on mobile, agenda is a great view. If we want to show that real quick, Lena. I don't know if we have it in.
Sure.
Perfect. Yeah. I know everyone's all very mobile heavy. We can show additional information just like you can in native Salesforce. So this is, like Lena said, very customizable. And of course, easily able to access on your mobile device, which is a huge benefit of CalendarAnything, and the fact that Classic was 2 separate packages for the mobile piece and the desktop piece. LWC has it all rolled into one, and CalendarAnything can be viewed on your Salesforce application. So just something to keep in mind as far as, managing the Salesforce and CalendarAnything app as an admin. So cool. The next thing we want to talk about is the fact that we have integrations with Google Calendar and Outlook Calendar. This is great for being able to overlay and really see a holistic view. And we don't actually create records inside of Salesforce. We're just viewing those Outlook calendars or Google Calendar records within Salesforce overlaid with Salesforce records. So Lena, I'll let you get into a little bit more about that.
Great. Thank you, Janelle. So like Janelle said, we don't actually create or duplicate any records in Salesforce like Einstein Activity Capture does. So CalendarAnything is a visualization tool. So what this integration allows us to do, it allows us to visualize your Google Calendar inside of Salesforce. So you don't have to switch between windows or tabs. You have everything in one view. So in this org, Janelle has graciously connected her Google Calendar. So it's very easy to set up. It's essentially like a few clicks. And when we enable this calendar, we can overlay our Salesforce event calendar together with Janelle's Google Calendar. And from this Google Calendar, she can edit events that she owns. So this is her Google event. We can click on a little edit icon and it will update this event, and it will in real time update on her Google Calendar. She can move by dragging and dropping. So all of the CalendarAnything features that are available for our standard calendars apply here as well.
Perfect. Yep. So that's Google Calendar. And of course, Outlook Calendar is the same. Other integrations we definitely want to talk about just at a high level is the fact that we integrate with both Slack, Zoom, and Teams. So you can create, start, edit meetings for Zoom and Teams straight from CalendarAnything UI via this online meetings tab that Lena's going to show you.
Yep. So in this org, I'm logged into my Zoom account, and once you have the online meeting tab enabled through your display settings, whenever I create meetings using Salesforce event object, I can easily add the Zoom link to it. Just by clicking on the button, it will generate the Zoom link, and it will attach the Zoom link to the meeting record.
And I know we are going over a ton of stuff like rapid fire at you. So please, if you have questions about this, feel free to type them into chat, or you're more than welcome to take yourselves off mute and ask us a question in real time. This is open forum, so please feel free to stop us. Another great feature about CalendarAnything LWC, and one that had been asked about so much when we were developing LWC, was multi-level conditional coloring. So there's a lot to unpack here, but I'm going to let Lena get into it.
Yes, thank you, Janelle. So for this scenario, we're going to be using our opportunities calendar. So we have two different ways on how we can utilize conditional coloring within CalendarAnything. So first of all, we allow for 3 levels of conditional coloring. In this case, we're saying, show me all opportunities using the calendar color, which is purple. And then on top of that, we're overlaying conditional colors based on the conditions that we have set at the calendar setup level. So you'll see, for example, on this record, we have, the stage. We also have the amount greater than and the opportunity type, all 3 conditions met. So you can easily see at a glance what that looks like on the calendar, and you can visually just go to the record that is most important for you at the time you're viewing the calendar. So another way to set the conditional color, which is different from the classic version. In classic version, we don't support the mode that you just saw. We can do our traditional conditional coloring again without the multi-level in classic. Classic has only 2 levels. We can actually use the conditional colors to apply for the main box and then do the conditions on the side. So 2 different ways on how you can visualize and color the data on the calendar.
Exactly. So, and use cases around this, sometimes you want to know that the purple calendar is your opportunity calendar and a green calendar is your event calendar. And then you have the conditional coloring from there. And other times it's, I know that all I care about are opportunities, and then you can quickly make decisions based on the color coding and the multi-level. So we have both use cases kind of built out with the multi-level conditional coloring because we've realized how important it is to make decisions at a glance. And color coding is really the way to go with that within a calendar UI. So the next thing we want to talk about is the fact that we leverage custom reoccurrence. So we are able to set up recurring records for any object, custom or standard, not just event objects. Any record within Salesforce can have a custom reoccurrence, which is something that, again, came out of requests from our clients. So Lena, I'll let you take them through that.
Yes, so it requires couple of configuration steps, but essentially you designate a field on your object, custom or standard, that you would like to use for to store the information about recurrence, and then it will work in the same way as the event. When you create a record through CalendarAnything, you can set the recurrence. So for example, if you have a I don't know, an opportunity that you need to create every year for an account, you can easily do that within CalendarAnything. Or if you I don't know, tracking some other information that need to happen on a regular basis, you can do that for any object, not just the event.
Yep. So perfect. Another thing we want to talk about is our custom CalendarAnything create form. So of course, within CalendarAnything, you can create new records, and there is a CalendarAnything create form. We can also, of course, leverage Salesforce create and edit forms. But one other thing that we have added is the ability to leverage flows. So Lena's going to take you through how flows work with create form.
Yes, so I think this is more important for our classic users right now than the LWC ones, but in the classic version of CalendarAnything from the desktop, you can only use CalendarAnything create form. In LWC version, we expanded that originally to allow to set up calendars using either the custom CalendarAnything create form or the standard Salesforce create form. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I have two opportunity calendars right here. So this opportunity calendar is using our custom create form, which we defined at the calendar create stage. So you'll see here when I select my calendar, I have a set of fields that I have set defined at the calendar setup level that I want my users to fill out when they create new opportunities using this particular calendar. We also have another opportunity calendar that's using the Salesforce form. So I'm going to do the same thing here, click on the spot, and I'm going to select this calendar here. And now you'll see that we're pulling the Salesforce create form. To that form, we're passing the close date. So this is the date that I clicked on within the calendar. And then it's showing you the page layout that was created by your admin in Salesforce for the opportunities. So if you are on the opportunities tab and you click on the new button, this is exactly what you will see there. So you can use both forms. So this is currently available out of the box. Additionally, we implemented ability, and right now it requires a little bit of customization where from CalendarAnything, you can open a flow. So for demo purposes, we have just a little flow UI that doesn't actually do anything yet, but we wanted to show you what that looks like. So again, from the calendar, I can click on any time spot. I can create select my calendar that's using the flow to create new records. And when I click OK, it will start the flow. So if you have flows implemented to create new records, and we actually have clients that are leveraging this functionality in their orgs right now, you can have different flows for create, edit, and delete, and we can connect that currently on a custom page, but coming up at the end of quarter, we're gonna include that into our main package offering, where you can specify how you want to create, edit, and delete your records from CalendarAnything, and you'll be able to, out of the box, configure calendars to use either CalendarAnything create and edit form, Salesforce form or the flow.
Awesome. I am super excited about that. Flows have been asked about and talked about, as you know, at Salesforce for a very long time. And everyone is finally starting to leverage it. I know, Carly, I was blown away too. So I'm super excited to see that. And like Lena said, that will be baked into the product at the end of the quarter. Next thing we want to talk about is all about display settings and quick settings. So we actually added a little orchestra man to LWC to be able to quickly update user settings and kind of show what that looks like in real time on the calendar. And there's also some additional display settings that we've added as well. So I'll let Lena go through those.
Right. So for those of you who are on Classic right now, we do have a good number of display settings available for our users. In our LWC version, we keep extending that list and making CalendarAnything and adding ability for our CalendarAnything users to create a more personalized and custom experience. So every user can set their display settings and view the calendar in the most efficient way for them. So we added this little orchestra guy icon or our quick settings. So what this does is on the fly, you can change the way that your views are behaving. So I'm just gonna do a quick demo here. So my all day aid is currently set for 30%. And then for this opportunity calendar, for example, I don't have any timed events, so I'm just gonna say, let me see what the all day section will look like. So here you can see that now it immediately updated. I can click reset and it will reset back to the original setup. You'll also notice that we know which view we're on. So if I were to change this to a different view, for example, let's go back to month. I'll have a different set of settings that I can update on the fly. And if I change something and I like how it looks, I can just say save as default and it will permanently update my display settings. So I don't need to go through additional clicks to make that change. So we find that this is a very useful way for users, first of all, to see what their view will look like before permanently updating it. But also depending on which calendars you have turned on and which views you're on, you might want to have a little bit of a different UI without making that permanent change.
And just to reiterate, these are user by user settings. So this isn't an admin setting. This is just depending on what the end user's day to day looks like, they can alter the calendar for what works best for them. So perfect. And then do we want to go over any other display settings like import and export admin settings, Lena?
Yeah, sure. So in LWC, we added some really nice admin tools. We know that most of our clients do any sort of changes or config changes, create calendars in their sandboxes first, have their users test, and then migrate to production. So within Classic version, most of that work has to be done manually. In the LWC version of the calendar, we added additional tools where you can easily migrate the work that you have done in the sandbox to production or vice versa. So at the calendar level, I can select my calendar, I can click export, it will give me a little JSON file here. I can copy, switch over to my production org, click on import, paste, and save, and it will save all the changes from the sandbox into the production org without me having to manually do any change there. We have also added ability to import, export our admin settings. So for example, you have a bunch of custom grouping options set up in your LWC org. In your sandbox, you want to migrate all of that into production. You don't have to manually do this anymore. You can just click import export. We're gonna do our custom grouping. the same concept. I click export, it will generate the JSON file. I copy, and then I repeat the same action in my production org. I click on import, paste, and save, and it will move everything that was done in the sandbox to production with just a few clicks.
So again, as everyone is thinking about upgrading to LWC or even just upgrading to the latest version and or testing in sandbox, recent functionality or the most recent version, this is really all about making and deploying changes easier for the admin. So we wanted to make sure we were making use of CalendarAnything as easy as possible. So of course, if you guys have any questions on that, you of course can enter a question into our chat, or of course, hit us up on calendaranything.com, submit a case, and we're happy to walk through it. So next thing is, we want to talk about design tokens. So the fact that CalendarAnything can easily take on the look and feel of the rest of your Salesforce org, like branding colors used throughout the platform. So Lena, I think we have an example of that.
Right. All right, so this is our Barbie World demo org. And here you can see that we have this org branded with very bright colors on purpose, because we want to demonstrate how CalendarAnything takes on the design tokens and work seamlessly with the Salesforce Lightning design system. So if I were to go to my, you can see that all the icons now are highlighted using that pink color. If I go to my display settings, everything takes on the color of the org, the buttons, the sections here and everything else. The same thing happens when we embed CalendarAnything onto the digital experience side. It will take on like all the styles and the colors of that side. So what this allows you to do is it allows you almost seamlessly embed or add CalendarAnything into your org, and it will blend in with your corporate colors, your styles, and make it feel like it's part of Salesforce without having that feel of a third-party app.
Perfect. I did get a request for all of the changes that were made to LWC. We actually have a white paper that shows the difference between Classic and LWC. We also, of course, have release notes on calendaranything.com, as well as every month we'll release a new version of CalendarAnything. Sometimes it's bug fixes, sometimes it's brand new functionality that rolls out. We are getting into the habit of sending out a monthly newsletter rather than being a quarterly newsletter, which will actually give you those monthly updates and what's been changing. So if you are not opted into that, definitely make sure you let us know that you're not receiving our emails and you want to get them. But we will make sure that we get over that white paper to you guys on what the differences between Classic and LWC are. I do have a question. When integrating Outlook with CalendarAnything, can the Outlook entries be private, just showing busy?
I believe for the Outlook, we'll show whatever we are getting from the API calls.
So I know in Google, you have the ability to make a certain entry private, and it shows on everyone's calendar is just busy. So if that's the calendar you're subscribed to, right, Lena, it would just show busy. It wouldn't show the actual event name.
I believe so.
So yeah, I think it's more in the setup of the actual calendar being a private event. That's how it works on the Google side. Admittedly, we are not a Microsoft shop, so I'm not entirely sure, but we, of course, you're more than welcome to test the functionality and see how it works out for you in a sandbox. Hopefully that answers your question. A few other things we wanted to go over is our advanced search capabilities in swim lane view. Like a quick grouping, an addition of fields you can search from, but you don't necessarily have to display them. So Lena's going to show you what setup of that looks like.
All right, so we're still using which calendar are we on? We are on the opportunities. So let's go switch to a swim lane view here. And so here we're grouping our opportunities in the swim lane by account. So we in the LWC version, we added this additional filtering or search option where I can easily whittle down and say, okay, I only want to look at opportunities related to a specific account or accounts. So in this case, I'm gonna narrow it down just to maybe like this 3 accounts here, and I can, my list became smaller. I can easily navigate and see what's going on. If I need to add more, I can. If I need to see all, I'll just uncheck and have a full view of all the records for this view, for this calendar. And Janelle, we should probably also mention additional fields.
Yep.
So in CalendarAnything Classic, we offer global search just like we do in LWC, and by default, the global search will only work for your subject line here. So if I need to, I don't know, search for an opportunity, I can just type in dark, and it will whittle it down and just show me records that have Stark in the subject line. If you need to use other fields for search in Classic and in Lightning version, we have a section here in the calendar setup we call display additional fields. So in the Classic version, if you need to use additional fields for search, you must add them here, and they will be displayed on the calendar in the list of additional fields. In the LWC version, the change that we made was you can add as many fields as you want or need for searching, but let's say you only want to show a limited number of fields as your additional fields. So I'm going to uncheck the stage checkbox here and click save. So you'll see that it will update the calendar. I'm no longer showing stage as my additional field on the calendar, but if I need to search using the global search, I can still do that. So I'm going to say negotiation review, and it immediately whittles it down and just show me those that match my search criteria. So what it does, it actually improves CalendarAnything load time and performance because we don't have to display and draw all those additional fields on the calendar, but we have them as a search criteria if you want to use that in the global search.
Absolutely. So the last thing we want to mention today, I know we have gone over a ton, is the fact that calendars can now be, well, in Gantt view, you have a sorting option. You can set up with more flexibility in the fact that you can sort, but this is available exclusively in Gantt. Lena, if we want to go over the sorting options.
Sure. So again, this all happens at the calendar setup level. We have a section for Gantt and swim lane configuration. So here you can define your Gantt sort levels, and we have you can sort within the main group, within the subgroup, or within the main and subgroups. This was a requirement that we had coming in from one of the clients that was implemented last year. So if you do need additional sorting options in the Gantt view, definitely consider switching over to the LWC version of the calendar.
We actually have a little bit of a suggestion. I'm not entirely sure that we don't support this. I don't believe we do. We're asked if it's on the roadmap to be able to search chatter fields from the calendar card. For example, when plotting opportunities on the calendar, there is an option to add a chatter tab to the preview card. The tab allows us to view and reply to the chatter post, but there isn't currently a way to search the chatter feed shown.
I'll have to get back to you on that. I don't think we do have chatter search. You can definitely scroll through to see all the chatter on the record, but I don't think we have the search feature.
I would be interested to know too if that might be art of possible with custom dev. So Alicia, we'll get back to you on what the art of possible is there. Although we don't currently support it, it doesn't mean that it can't be a roadmapped item because 75% of the things that we roll out on CalendarAnything, of course LWC, is coming from client requests. So absolutely, thank you so much for bringing that to our attention as something that you might want to see implemented. And of course, CalendarAnything is very customizable. Just because it is not baked into the product doesn't mean that we can't create a custom page with custom development and make a custom experience for your particular either industry or your particular company. So definitely please feel free to reach out to us with those types of suggestions, as we are always open. So that actually is a perfect segue into kind of closing out our call today, all around continuous improvement of LWC. So CalendarAnything Classic is no longer being updated. LWC has many roadmapped items, as you've seen and as we've talked about and have already rolled out. The one main roadmap item we have slated for this quarter, like we talked about, is the ability to add calendars that are shared with users via a public group. So what this means is that when you're setting up calendars, you can automatically see a calendar that is shared with you on a sidebar. No more having to go in from available and move it from available to selected. It makes onboarding a new user seamless. So as soon as they have that permission set and that CalendarAnything license, any of the calendars that are shared with them via a public group will automatically show on their sidebar. So that's something that is coming out by the end of the quarter, I believe, Lena, is that correct?
Yep.
Perfect. So again,
Right.
one of oh, question? So yeah, just one of those things that came out of, our client base asking for it, saying, hey, we really want the onboarding experience to be more seamless. And so we want to give that option to you. So be on the lookout for that at the end of the quarter. And again, like I said, we're handing out monthly newsletters. So if you're not receiving our newsletter and you've never gotten a newsletter from us, please let us know, or you're not getting our emails. I'm guessing you are if you're here, but we're going to really try to make sure that everybody that needs to get that newsletter, especially to make sure you're upgrading to the latest version, gets that, because there'll be a link to upgrade. There'll be release notes and all that good information that you need. So a little bit about process to transition. CalendarAnything LWC is a brand new managed packages. Calendars and settings will need to be moved from the classic package over to LWC. But don't worry, we can assist you if your team doesn't have bandwidth, if they can't do it on their own. We have put mechanisms in place and functionality to allow you to do that seamlessly by yourself. However, we also know not everyone is super Salesforce savvy. You have small internal teams. We can help you with the transition from Classic over to LWC. We're currently creating knowledge articles that will actually take the admin step by step through the entire process of importing and exporting calendars. So be on the lookout for that over the next several weeks. And if you're utilizing visual force pages in Classic, you probably want to reach out to us to make sure you leverage our support offering. We want to make sure that our team assists you in recreating of those visual force pages as lightning pages. The ongoing maintenance of those lightning pages will be a lot simpler than managing a visual force page. So definitely those folks that are using visual force pages in Classic, you're going to want to upgrade to LWC because the ongoing maintenance of that can be cumbersome. Something else I want to make sure I let you guys know, since you're here, you get a special offer. If you have signed up and you're viewing this recording, you are eligible for 2 hours of free support to upgrade from from Classic over to LWC. This is if you are signing on to transition prior to 3/31. This does not mean that you have to actually be on the LWC product in any way. It just means you have to sign a contract saying that we are promising to upgrade to LWC by a certain date. And you get those 2 hours of free support. And another thing too, just to kind of call out what that support entails. So if you leverage the support team to transition, we include transition of all your calendars, a health check. We do a full review with your team and your calendars that are built. We look through your use case to ensure your calendars are built to best practice. We transition all of your user settings. We do end user training to make sure that everybody is up to speed on CalendarAnything LWC. And one thing, regardless if you're using our transition services or not, everyone gets at least 1 month with both packages in a single org overlaid. So you can make sure that you have that seamless transition where some folks are still on Classic, some folks are using LWC, and you have a full month of transition period to make sure everybody is moved over to LWC before we turn off the Classic licenses. So I know we went over a ton today around upgrading to LWC, all the new features and functionality that have come out. Lena, what am I missing? Is there anything else you would like me to mention?
Like you said, Janelle, we covered a lot today. So just maybe reiterate on how to engage with our team if you have additional questions, or if you want to get a more personalized demo of any features or functionality.
Absolutely. So if you are ready to upgrade to LWC, there's a few different ways to engage our team. You can submit a case at CalendarAnything.com. You simply select submit a case, or you can interact with our chatbot that's on our website or on our App Exchange page. Or you can email us at appex@silverlinecrm.com. All of this information will be listed in that email that you get tomorrow. Another big thing just to kind of keep in mind, I know we're getting questions about pricing. So CalendarAnything list price is $150. The classic version is $150 per license per year. The LWC version is right now $199 per license per year. However, as you're in the method of transition, going from $150 to $199 a license, that's a big jump. And so you guys are legacy clients. We want to make sure that we're being cognizant of that and that huge price jump in budget. We will absolutely talk about making one thing to always keep in mind is if you're receiving discounts, those bulk discounts still apply. You do not lose those bulk discounts. And another thing, we want to make transition as easy as possible. So we will not let license price get in the way of you transitioning. It will slowly increase pricing by percentage year over year to make sure that jump isn't too extreme. The main thing is to get you on the latest functionality. So that's key. That's the price of the actual licensing. As far as transition, bulk hours of 5 hours are purchased in buckets. So you can purchase buckets of 5 hours of support, and they start at $1,500 per bucket. And sometimes you only need 5 hours, right? It's a simple import and export of calendars. You aren't using visual force pages, so we don't have to create some new Lightning Builder app. And it's very seamless and very quick. And most of those hours are actually used for training on the new system. But then, of course, there are times when you have a more robust use case and you need a little bit more time with our team. And so, again, you can purchase those hours in buckets of 5 hours. And we can help you with all of the things, including training and also transition of calendars and building out those visual force pages or digital experience pages, whatever you may need based on your use case. Lena, anything I'm missing on support?
No, I think you covered it all.
Perfect. So a few things just to kind of wrap up today. I will absolutely be getting out an email tomorrow morning. It'll be including of this recording. It'll have a little bit of it'll have our transition doc from CalendarAnything Classic to LWC. It will be a little bit outdated. I haven't had a chance to update for the latest functionality, but we'll be releasing that when you get your new newsletter. And we'll also make sure that if you're not signed up for our newsletter, you let us know so we can make sure that you are updating to the latest version of CalendarAnything LWC. One question we had that I would just want to make sure we call out, and Lena, if you may want to share your screen to walk through this. If you're ever wondering if you're on the latest version of CalendarAnything, you can look at your version by going to the help section of CalendarAnything. So if you click on the gear icon and then you go down to help, it'll show you the version. So this is the latest CalendarAnything Classic version 1.100. And if you are on anything below that, that means that you are on an older version. To upgrade to the latest version easily, you can go to our App Exchange page, which I believe is linked here, Lena, or no, is not linked on this help page.
I don't think it's linked here, but you can go to our help site and in the release notes section, we typically include the installation links for the latest version inside our release notes.
Yep. So always the best way to, of course, learn about the most recent releases is our release notes available on our website. And those are where your sandbox install links and production install links are as well. So like I said, I know we went over a ton of information today. As you guys have questions or you are looking for added functionality within CalendarAnything, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We would love to hop on a call and hear what you guys are needing out of our product. I don't believe we have anything else. I'm going to check one more time to make sure we don't have any more questions that have come in or chats. Make sure I've gone through all of them. I think I have. Perfect. If we don't have anything else, I will let you guys go today, but be on the lookout for our email tomorrow morning. And we so appreciate you joining us for our January office hours. Our next office hours will be the second Thursday of the month in February. So we look forward to speaking with you then. Thanks so much.